We're excited for you guys today to get to meet Miss Jennifer Kjellgren. She is with Nest Realty in Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome, Jennifer. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm excited to tap in. We had some conversation beforehand. You know, you are not only in the real estate world, but you're managing team as a broker. So I can't wait to start the conversation. First and foremost, let us know how you got into the industry. What brought you to this moment in time?
So I was in professional sales for 9 years, selling a form of computer product. I was very good at it, but I did not have any passion to it. And I started investing in real estate in the late 90s after the Olympic boom in Atlanta in our in-town neighborhoods. And I saw an opportunity with agents being mediocre. And I was like, wow, I can apply the sales skills that I've learned, a passion for neighborhoods and housing. And I jumped in.
That's great. That's great. And the rest is history.
Yeah. I mean, it's my journey's been like this, but yes, the rest is history.
Well, and now that we have, we're facing crisis, we're kind of on the upswing of getting back into production. How have you seen that this has impacted, especially the area you serve in Atlanta and surrounding with real estate? How has it impacted that?
So, so Atlanta's huge. I say Atlanta is the size of the state of Massachusetts, and the market that I'm in is pretty hyper local, and we serve the in-town market, it operates much differently than the entire multi-county metro area. We have multiple markets inside of a market. The entry point into a market is on fire. It is while the inventory is down and the number of listings are down, the absorption is the same, and we are seeing multiple offers. It's crazy. The middle point of like the move-up buyer and the luxury market is feeling the pain much more so. And I think that people who don't necessarily need to be in the market have stepped back. In analyzing it, we've had in some cases a 50% decrease, but that's not a blanket statement. It depends on where you are in the market. But the good news is people, there are people who still have to move and to buy and sell. And the way that we're handling our messaging is it's not one size fits all anymore. It's about what the client needs.
Well, I know that you work with Barbara there locally as one of your go-to stagers, and you think about design to sell. And are you seeing, because of the luxury market, she obviously serves luxury, and are you seeing that there's more need now more than ever for staging?
Yeah, we were actually, Barbara and I were talking last week, and I'm like, how are you handling your inventories? Are they staying there a little bit longer? And she was talking about how her business has boomed. I think that those of us that are true marketers in this business are able to really show what we bring to the table. And I think that now consumers are getting smarter, and they're not going to just put up with iPhone pictures and slapping a listing in the MLS. So staging and design services and properly marketing and storytelling and all those things that make a listing beautiful are key. And so while our market is a little bit of a higher price point, that typically means that our consumer is a little bit more savvy. And so they're demanding it. And I think it's great because we're not going to go backwards when this is over.
Yeah.
I think that now the bar has been raised in what a consumer expects of a great agent.
Yeah, that expectation. You're absolutely right. And how have you guys pivoted? I know that you're a broker, so you're managing team, which we'll get into in a moment, but have you guys in your office, your services, have they had to pivot during this time?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have the luxury of being small, and so pivoting is so much easier when you're small. We have 9 agents, we have 3 staff. So our company is small in that regard. We immediately moved to using the Zoom platform. We've done a huddle Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10:30. It's not mandatory, but our agents are all in, like they're wanting this interaction. And I would say that we are communicating at a higher level and more frequency, and our agents are showing up for each other more because it's just like we have this mentality, we're just all in it together. And I wasn't expecting that with this pivot. And I think as a broker, one of the biggest challenges is for an agent to adapt to your tools, to come to meetings. And now it's like they want to be there, they want to interact, and it's like, oh, this is great. Like they want to be a part of this. So I'm not leading the horse to water all the time.
Yeah, you're right. And we're seeing, of course, people are responding differently to this. We're having our team players who step up. We're having maybe experiencing some that are stepping back and retreating, and into each his own. But that core value, right? The company culture, and now taking it remotely can be a bit of a challenge. So, when you are managing team, or managing the expectations of the team, who do you look for in an A player?
Well, so I'm really big on emotional intelligence, and we hire to that. We use assessments. And when I talk and coach to my agents, I will talk to them in a way that their communication style is and emotional intelligence. So I'd say that that's really benefited us because we've kind of been in that groove. I also I went to my first Inman Connect in 2012, and I have a phenomenal network of peers around the country that are agents, brokers inside of this industry. And there's just a ton of collaboration that we've done. And so if it's not happening inside of our company, I have places that it comes from outside. So a lot of different Facebook groups and just places where we're able to, it's all about helping each other, right? Yes. And collaborating and making all of this, making the industry better. That's been something that I've been really passionate about since I started.
Yes. And I know we'll have, it's agents, they can be successful, and it's almost like they're their own small business owner, and if it's going to be, it's up to me, especially in a time like this. Who do you see is the ideal agent that is going to not only survive this, crisis or any crisis, but are going to thrive? I mean, what does that agent prototype or avatar look like to you?
They're relationship based, not transaction based. They care about the long game and not the short game. And so I've seen, being in the industry for 20 years, I've kind of been through a couple of recessions, the bad one, of course. And there's a lot of agents who've come into this business in the last 10 years that never have really learned how to sow and plant, because it's been easy street, and they've, bought leads or this or that. And there's so many, what I love about real estate is there's so many ways to do it. But what's coming up now, and what I'm seeing the agents who are really doing well with this are the ones that work their business on relationship, sphere of influence, and they are applying technology to leverage that. But it's all about those human interactions.
Yes. And, if you think about the kind of the next few months of what the forecast, I know none of us have that,
crystal ball. It's foggy.
Exactly. We don't have the crystal ball, but what do you anticipate? I mean, if you were to think about the highest and best situation that can come out of this, and really predicting the positive, I mean, what do you see the next few months looking like in your area?
So I think, while we're not singing this from the mountaintop, like the great pause has actually really spawned a lot of creativity, a lot of intentional work that our company is really reaping the benefits of, maybe our busyness being a little bit different. I think the summer is going to be slower. I think it's going to be weird. I think this staggered opening, like nobody really the governors don't even know what to tell people. Like it's very confusing. I think the fourth quarter is going to be insane because the pent-up demand and the fact that real estate did not get us into this problem, that's not going to change. And we're even still continuing to see that velocity in our market now when things have essentially kind of shut down. I think we're all in this position. We've never been here before. Nobody knows what the future is going to hold. Like, we've never had a global pandemic and being connected at the way that we are. But I think the real estate market, and I think those agents that practice properly are going to thrive.
Yeah.
And I think some agents are going to get out of the business, and frankly, that needs to happen.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, thinning of the herd is only one of the pros and cons, whenever you think about it. And it will be a time that our 1%ers step up and really set the course of what the future of real estate looks like. And you're absolutely right. I mean, are people going to feel like, well, let's wait and put our house on the market, let's go travel, we got to get to the beach? Or and then typically those winter months or holiday months, we may not take as much vacation in it. You're right. It might be crazy to think about the moving that's happening. So, being ready, I think, is the big thing. How are you getting your agents ready? I mean, what kind of value add are you bringing to them during this time?
So I almost feel like our brokerage was built for this.
That's good.
I've trained our agents. We use the Ninja philosophy, which is a sphere of influence, relationship based. So like literally the first thing they do when they come on is they work on their database. We do a lot of very intentional human touches and so like they've been doing all of this great work, and so they kind of haven't missed a beat with that. I think that that's going to be more important, and I think that agents who have maybe not had the time to truly create their database and or to really glean it and understand the messaging that has to go to different kinds of people need to take this time and do that, because it really is about intentional communication and staying in the flow with their clients.
Yes, that's such great value there. And, final thoughts, maybe a word of encouragement to those that are listening today.
We are going to get through this. I use the example of the spring that we're experiencing in Atlanta. I've been here for 27 years. I've never seen a spring so beautiful. Now, I may have been working a little bit too hard to notice it, but like the world is going to keep going. Spring is springing. Things still have to go. And yes, there's some horrible things happening, but there's also some beautiful things happening. And I think if we continue the human race is meant to survive, and we're going to survive. And I think the real estate agents who really care about their clients and do the right thing, they're going to thrive.
That's good. And I love your picture. Your picture behind you reminds me of spring. It's got beautiful colors there. That inspiration. And we just thank you, Jennifer, for spending some time with us today and putting some great value. Best wishes to you guys and your team, and look forward to hopefully meeting you someday in the near future.
Yes. Thank you for the opportunity.